YouTube. So today I'm going to do something really different. It's my first makeup video, because I thought, I keep getting people saying things on Tumblr to me, and obviously friends have mentioned that they like how I do my makeup, so I thought I would do it. And today, as you can see, I have a clean face. Well, it's just makeup free, so I don't always look that great. Listen to me, look at my fringe, it's ridiculous. So, first things first is I'm going to clip my fringe out of the way. Right, so I'm just going to wipe my face with a face wipe. Get it nice and clean. Make sure there's no sleep in my eyes. Okay. I keep that with me because I tend to just wipe my makeup brushes and stuff on them when I've used them. Just gives it a little... I'm really sorry there's flies and stuff around today because it's like seriously hot. I've just gone around swatting them, but keep coming back. Okay, so next up is I will put some simple face cream, which is just an oil balancing one, and I do, oh my goodness, I do notice a difference when I put this on as to how long my makeup lasts on me, especially if it's warm. So I'm just going to cover my face in that, and it'll go super shiny. But it's nice. I love simple stuff because it's there's no fragrance, there's no colour or anything. It's just like really gentle. Okay, so that's the base done. I'm really not, well, this is my first one of these videos, so if people like it then I'll do more and I'll probably get better at it. Right, so foundation I use, I'm just looking because I can see it over the camera and see whether or not you can see it. It's the Revlon Photo Ready in Shell, which is 003, and I love it. And what I do is I just put some, like a little pump and a half usually, on my back of my hand, and then I get the e.l.f. stipple brush, which is this. It was white, it has been washed, so it just doesn't, the colour doesn't go. What I do is I just put that in there and just stipple roughly so I look like a pointillism painting. But I find this is the best way of getting a really even coverage without looking cakey. I used to always use either my fingers or like the flat brush, like this one. This is a Daniel Sandler one. This is what I used to use. But I find it looks cakey around your nose, and just never really was very pleased with the finish. So once that's kind of stippled on there, then I'm not doing this very hard. It looks like I am, but I'm literally just moving the top bristles rather than the whole brush. Please excuse the makeup faces. So I mean, this is the closest colour to my actual skin tone that I've ever liked. I mean, I love my MAC. I love this if I'm going out somewhere special and I need it to last like all day. This is the Studio Sculpt in NW15, but that's their lightest and it's still slightly orange. This one is a much better match for me. I've never tried the Revlon Colour Stay, the buff, that looks very pale. I think I might try that next, but I love the finish on this, and it's only, I think it's like, it's about £8 I think. So that's pretty much covered that. And it does do, I mean, you can see that there's a line on my hairline, but because I have a fringe I'm not too bothered about blending it that much. It doesn't, you can't see it. But I always make sure I go under here because nobody likes that orange line. It's not a good look. I realise I've been looking at the mirror and not the camera, I'm sorry. It's kind of difficult. This is trickier than it looks, this makeup lark. Right, or makeup to a camera anyway. Okay, so that's my foundation. And then next I use the MAC Select Moisture Cover in NW15 as well. This I find is the perfect colour for me. And I just dot that under there and blend it with my fingers. I remember reading in a book, a makeup book, I always use ring fingers for doing this because apparently it's the lightest touch that any of your fingers have, like the least power behind it, whereas if you do it with your middle finger it becomes more blotchy, apparently. I don't know whether that's really true, but so just get rid of those nasty dark circles. I'm genetic. They're genetic, my dark circles. They don't make any difference whether I get more sleep or not. My dad has very thin skin under his eyes, and I seem to have inherited that. So, along with his eyebrows, which when I was little grew like a monobrow. So this is years of plucking this. So that's all blended in there, and then I'm going to use my Pixie Eye Beauty Kit, which is just concealers and whatnot. There's a colour corrective one, but I don't tend to use it that often because I'm not really that bothered. I'm just going to cover up any little. I'm not as spotty as I was. I've been drinking a lot more water lately. Seems to be making a bit of a difference, which is nice. I've got a tiny little one under my nose, which is really annoying. Just around the nose. And then, even though it'll be covered with fringe, if the wind blows, it'll be covered up slightly better. They're not going to go very well. I have a scar here that I can never really hide. It doesn't. I'm not Harry Potter, before you ask. I'm female for one. That was a really stupid thing to say. Anyway. So that is my foundation and concealer. The next thing I do is set it with a powder. And I like the Body Shop Loose Face Powder. Oh look, you can see another one of me. Oh, infinite me's. This is really dirty. It's just makeup, honest. So yeah, get a bit more product in there. Okay, and then I take, this is actually an ID Minerals Bare Essentials brush, but I love it for powder because it's really poofy. So I will pick up some product, tap it off, and literally just roll it before I brush it in. I just roll it, kind of like pat it on. It just seems to last a hell of a lot longer. I'm probably looking all over the place because I have a mirror down here and a mirror up there. So once that's all kind of patted on, I just brush whatever's excess off. Okay. Then I'm going to use my MAC Wonder Woman blush, which is the Amazonian, and I broke it. Look, don't know if you can see. It fell off the shelf and it smashed. I was heartbroken. So I just get a bit of product on there. It's actually two tones, so what I tend to do is get the lighter pink on the top half of the brush and the darker on the bottom, and I just sweep it up kind of underneath the apple of the cheek and up onto the side, and then I just blend it. It's quite a strong colour, this, but because I like wearing the filled in eyebrows, which I'll be doing in a minute, it works. It doesn't look as nice if I don't. It looks like, I mean, without the eyebrows it looks a bit over the top, and without eye makeup and everything. Sometimes I do the blusher last, because then you can kind of judge how much you want to put on and stuff. So yeah, that's that. And then just to kind of even it out a little bit, I just get the powder brush again and just take out the harshness of it a little bit. And then because I hate the way I look when I have foundation on my lips, I kind of just wipe it off, because you instantly look a bit more human rather than having like skin coloured lips. Right, okay, eyebrows next, which is my lovely brow things from Benefit, and I use this every day and it's hardly goes down. Right, this I'm going to have to move this mirror so I'm in the right line of. Okay, you just literally, you'll be able to see, yeah. What I do first is I just gently line the bottom, and then using the line of the brush you just fill in the edges. I try to make it straight because I don't like that kind of tadpole, you know, like the comma was round at the edge. It just looks, I'm not saying mine look like they naturally look like this, because they don't, but I prefer it to look a bit squarer. It goes with the whole retro thing. So yeah, just keep doing the filling it in the middle and then down through the arch. Flies in here again. And I tend to bring it down a little bit further, not hugely, than where it naturally grows. Don't know, it just looks nicer like that. Okay, it's a bit squidgy, but it's not my best, this is typical. Okay, and on the other side, this side is a bit trickier to do for me because I have a scar in the middle of it where hair does not grow, so I have to kind of cover that up as best as I can, which means the whole eyebrow is a slightly different shape to the other one. But like they say, eyebrows should never look like twins, they should always look like sisters. So that's my motto anyway, although I do quite like to make them look as similar as possible. Okay. Okay. Just like a line underneath that one. Don't like that. I'm just going to get a cotton bud and then kind of roll it in my face wipe and clean underneath there a bit. It's a bit better. Yeah, see, this one is slightly more angular than this, but it's just the way it grows. I can't really do anything about it, really. Okay, that's my eyebrows. Now I look really crazy. Okay, next I'm going to go for like a kind of a smoky eye, but with a little bit of colour. I tend to wear more colour than I used to, and I have a lot more colourful palettes now. Right, first of all I'm going to use my Too Faced First Base, which is this kind of shimmery gold. It's very sheer, but it just makes your eyeshadow a lot stronger in colour. Also makes it last a bit longer. I'm just going to pat that all over the lid. Not quite up to the brow bone though. Okay, so that's even. I don't know if you can, probably can't see this very much, it's probably just shiny. Okay, so that's the base. Don't know what colours to go with today. I'm going to start with a grey base. I know this never happens to me when I'm doing it on my own. It's the wrong one anyway. Oh. Right. Okay, I'm going to use my Body Shop. What is this? It just says 50 and it's like a very let's see if I can get the light on it. It's kind of like a taupey grey colour. I'm just going to use, this is a number 7 fluffy brush, just to cover, just a very light covering of grey. And I think I'll go for like a turquoisey teal highlight and crease colour as well. So that's that, and I'll leave that out because I'll need it for the other colours. I've got a e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, which is like a C brush. It's pretty good. It's in the cheap section, and it's pretty good actually. I'm sold by it. So turquoisey colours. I think I've got one in this Avon palette. No, that's really turquoise. That's not what I want. I would get my Fraulein palette out, but I'll probably drop it knowing how I'm getting on today. Okay, so this is the Beauty UK collection. This is number 2. I think they've got names, but they don't really say. So that's this colourful one. This gets used a lot, by the way. So I'm going to use this really light bluey green. You can see that, can't you? Yeah. In the inner corner. It's very shimmery, this one. That's why I like it in the middle, in the inner corner, because it really brings your eye, like brings the attention to the like highlights. It makes it really pop. Okay. And then I'm going to use my Body Shop Shimmer Cubes collection. I love these, they're so diddy, you get so much product in them, they last forever. And this is a green, and it's called Emerald Sea. It's quite an apt name really. And I'm going to use a tiny little pencil brush. It's very small, it's good for getting in the crease. Just going to tap that on there. And work it into the crease. It's quite sheer, the Body Shop colours, that's why I always use a base on them. And just bring it right round in the crease. This is a lot lighter than I remembered it being. Might have to add a bit more darker colour. And then I'm just going to bring that slightly underneath. Just be careful not to get it in your eye because it will sting. Okay, so let's try the other side. I can never get them to be exactly the same shape. I don't know whether it's because when you place your brush on one eye with the hand that you use the most, you're working in one angle, like one direction, putting pressure on it slightly different and stuff. But I can never ever get them, because this one always goes up and this one goes round, so I don't know. But they're not like too dissimilar. Bit more, bit under the, oh, I just looked at my light, it's really bright. Okay. And then, there's a slightly darker green in this Beauty UK palette, this one here. I'm going to try adding a little bit of that with another, just a slightly longer pencil brush. Yeah, it's slightly greener. So I'm going to add that along the lash line at the top. And then blend it up a bit. Look, slightly more three-dimensional then. This really is not the best eyeshadow looks that I've done, which is typical. I never have a plan, I just kind of see go with what I'm wearing, and then just see what looks right. I'm just going to blend it out now because it's really harsh. Because eyeshadow, when you do it, very colourful eyeshadow in it, does always look really like clownish before you blend it. I think I'm going to add a little bit of purple into the middle just to make it a bit more me, because this is all basically one colour and I like to wear at least two colours. So I'm going to grab another little eyeshadow brush. This is a Cosmopolitan one, I've had it for ages, and just take a little bit of purple from the Beauty UK palette and add it into the middle section. And just kind of blend it in a bit. Yeah, that's more me. Much more me. Popping that in there. It's kind of like a middle section between the top and between the crease line and the lash line. It's hard to talk and do makeup, but I must admit I've not tried it before. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit of that purple and blend that in a bit more. That's much nicer, I like that better. Okay, I managed to get blush all over the bottom of that. That just needs one last thing, which is a bit of purple on underneath to kind of tie it in with the top. I don't tend to put a lot in, it's just a little hint to bring it together. Okay, so that's the eyeshadow, and after I've finished I will clean all those brushes with the wipe. I never do like a full clean after every time I've done makeup, because I'd be doing it every day and it will drive me up the wall. So I tend to do a proper deep clean on brushes every maybe 3 weeks. Yeah, about every 3-4 weeks I do it, depending on how much I've used it, obviously. So that's my eyeshadow.